I don't know how cool that was.
A gift to. What about this one?
So I drink a gallon of water every single day. I just have ever since I started 75 hard over a year ago. So I've drank a gallon of water every single day, besides 2 days. That was day of and day after my surgery. Anyways, so I'm used to like chugging. And so like, cause I chug my water, whenever I take a drink, I take at least 16 ounces at a time. Anyway, so then like today, for instance, I wanted to reward myself because I finished my gallon early. And so I wanted a hydration stick, a first form hydration stick, and I put it in my water. And I have such a habit of chugging that I literally sucked down the glass of hydration stick. And I was just like, I didn't even get to enjoy it because of my habit of sucking it down. Do you guys do that? So annoying. That kind of reminds me last Saturday for the memorial walk for Blake, that they had first form energy drinks out there on ice. And so after the walk was, or after the 5K was done, I was like super excited because I was like, oh, I want an energy drink. It's been weeks since I had an energy drink. And freaking, I did the same thing. Like I had to pace myself because I'm just so used to just anytime I take a drink, just chugging it. And so like half the can was already gone, but before I was just like, shoot, pace yourself so you can enjoy it. So crazy. Ooh. What are you doing in there? So I wanted to let you in on this like totally cool secret that I have. Grace doesn't like me talking like that because I totally sound like a cute guy. So we could totally talk about problems all day long in the world and in your homes and like complain about anything and everything all the time. It's time that we talk about the solutions and that we act upon the solutions and we actually solve problems instead of just talking about the problems. We actually take care of the problems and no longer have those problems that we continue to complain about. So like with the attack on our children here in the US and the world, the attack on our children because they're vulnerable and because they're young and impressionable and they're sponges and basically just like us as adults, they're looking for acceptance and they're looking for validity and stuff like that, and they're gonna find it. They're seeking it and they're going to find it. We need to be, as parents, we need to be the people that they find that from, the safety of their own home, the safety of their own family, that they find the acceptance and the validity in their home so that they're not trying to look for it outside of the home and getting abused and getting just trashed all over the place. You know, it is up to us parents to protect our children and to raise them, give them a really good head start on life. And yes, it is ultimately the child's decision how they do their life, but just put it in perspective. We basically have 18 years with our children from start to when they are adult or whatever. We'll give it 18 years. That is this long of the time of their life, for the rest of their life. We can give 18 years to our children. We give 30 minutes to our phone. We give more time to our social media. Like, take that 30 minutes that you were just gonna go scrolling and give it to your children. Sit down and color with them. Sit down and draw with them. Read them a book. And for like the older generation, that works too. But sit down and talk with them. Engage with your children. Find out what they're interested in. You get interested in what they're interested in, so you guys can have conversations. It reminds me of, when your children are like real young, or they're learning how to talk or whatever, and they have kind of like their own language, and usually the parents are the only ones that really can understand them. And so like they're talking with other people, and the other people are like, what? And the mom is like, oh, he said this, blah, 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 blah. You have that same communication, that same language. Like, you speak the same language as your child. Like, you still need to do that, because especially children who are going out into public school and stuff like that, they're being taught by other people. They're being taught by other adults. And so when they come home and they want to talk about their day, you're not speaking the same language. Like, you have to invest in your time to speak the same language as your child. Like, obviously, homeschool, in my opinion, is the best, because you are the one teaching them how to speak. With homeschooling, you are on the same communication level because you're speaking the same language. But I know as of right now, that could be impractical for the majority of adults, the majority of parents, because like in today's age, especially with this inflation going on, both parents have to work to even just stay alive. So I get it. There are people that have to do public school. There are people that have to do daycare. There's stuff like that. And that just means that's extra work on you parents to get involved in your children's life, to engage with your children, to invest the time into speaking the same language as your child, so that they're looking to you for that comfort, for that assurity, for that safe protection. Their home, their family, their parents need to be that safe haven for them, especially since us as parents push them out into the world. So one of the biggest things that you can do to help protect your child is get involved with your child. Get more than involved with your child. That is your child. Take possession of your child. Help them. They need you. They need you. One of the biggest things that Dakota and I do, even as young as they are right now, is we give them jobs. And I'm not talking about like chores. Of course they have chores, like, clean your room, make a bed, that sort of stuff. But like, give them a job and make it feel like communicate to them that this is their job. We communicate to the children, like, this is your job. We are a team as a family, and this is your part of the function of our team. Like, you doing your part will ensure that all of us can do all our parts all together. So we're working as a team together. So if you give them an important job, like, it can be a chore, but communicate to them that this is your job. This is important. This is an important function to our family as a unit and to the success of our house. Just like, if you communicate importance to them and give them importance, it'll mean the world to them, because they want to be important, especially to you. One more thing I think that I kind of just wanted to touch on, because I find it's very important as well, is we are creative beings. Us adults are creative, children are creative. We want to create stuff all the time, creative stuff. And so it's important to tell them or help them create, like encouraging them to create stuff. Like, even if it's creating a Lego structure, or like I said earlier, coloring, drawing, just encourage the creative aspects in them, because especially nowadays, when they have such easy access to like phones and iPads and screens, like TV, movies, video games, all that stuff, we need to like correct that with encouraging creativeness, encouraging their imagination to work, like encouraging them to play Barbies and have the scenarios played out and stuff. And by encouraging that creativity in them, it helps them stay structured in their brain to where they're not necessarily getting bored and trying to find other things to do, or with the screens and stuff like that, they're not being distracted or have their imagination created for them, where they just have to watch a movie, and that's the extent of their imagination, is just watching a movie. No, we need to keep that creative aspect inside of them, and the wheels that keep a turning, so that is the ultimate success of life, is that we have the creative thinking, the cognitive thinking, so that we are able to differentiate between what is real and what is fake in this world. And it's very important nowadays. So encourage that creativity in your child.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yay! They all bumped into each other, guys. Have you bumped have you bumped in each other? We got hot chocolate during school. Like you guys are flies. Hot chocolate. Oh yeah.
So the most dangerous thing that could happen in mornings happened. I woke up at like 4:45 and I was like, I'm gonna sleep for like 5 more minutes. That 5 more minutes turned into 2 hours. I woke up at 6:45, freaked out. So we didn't make it for our morning walk.
I woke up because Mo bumped me on the leg 2 times.
Yeah, the cat was playing with her feet underneath the covers and he bit her pretty good. Anyway, so we didn't get our morning walk in. That's always a bummer. Always tempts me to get bummed. And so I'm not gonna let that affect the rest of my day. I'm going to pivot and move on, get the rest of my tasks done, and we will take our walk later. Just finished this morning's workout, and I just took the last bit of my cherry lime Formula 1, and I have root beer float next. So I have like half a scoop of cherry lime, which was left, and then I just filled up the rest of my scoop with root beer float. So I'm gonna try what Dakota tried the other day that he got suggested from, I don't remember, maybe Tyler, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm gonna try it, see if it tastes like, I think they said it should taste like Dr. Pepper. Let's check it out. Cheers. In an odd way, it actually does taste a little bit like Dr. Pepper. Like, obviously, I still taste the root beer float, but I think with the cherry lime in there, throws the taste off just a little bit, which I could see where Dr. Pepper comes in. Pretty good. Try it. Cherry lime and root beer float, Formula 1. And of course, I have the ignition and creatine in there too. Tastes pretty good. I don't know if you're like me, and you probably are, because we're probably all in about the same boat here in America. And if you're like middle class, like me, then this inflation shit is kicking you in the fucking balls. I don't have balls, so it's kicking me in the ass. Okay, then like we just gotta stay on top of it. And so here's something that I just got done doing that Dakota recently read out of a book, but and it may be a duh for some people, but I just got off the phone with my credit card company, and I literally asked them to lower my interest rate so that we can pay off the credit card faster or whatever, and they did. Like, I didn't have to do anything. All I did was ask them to lower my interest rate, and it happened. And like, so try that out for one thing. And for another thing, a little back history on Dakota and I's life, kind of what I wrote in our last post about children or whatever. So we grew up in this organization, and like I said, that's a nice way of putting it. We actually grew up in a cult. Put it plainly, we grew up in a cult. And so we grew up together in this same cult. And so basically, financially, we have been paralyzed. We have like almost our entire life, especially our adult life, we were financially paralyzed because with the rules and regulations of this cult, you had so much you had to pay into the cult, so to speak. And if you got any extra money, it was dispersed among everybody in the cult. And so there was no extra money. And so talk about communism. Dakota and I have firsthand experience with communistic ideologies. And so thank goodness we're free now. So we are trying to get on top of this financial paralysis that we have been through. And I tell you what, it's kicking us in the ass. And I say all this not to like get sympathy or any shit like that. I just want you guys to know where I'm coming from. the Biden administration and all these people that are in charge of what's going on with the money in our country for our citizens, for we the people, they will pay and they will take account for every single fucking cent that they're doing with our money. I'm freaking working for my paycheck. I'm working for money and it's getting robbed from me right from underneath my nose. It's happening to you too. It's gotta stop. We have got to stop it. They need to be held accountable. There's many ways you can stop it, but I'm just gonna say, you know what? Show up at the fucking voting polls and vote in person and bring all your friends and family, and I'm gonna say it, vote Republican, because for right now, I don't agree with everything that they say, but for right now, they're gonna fucking get us out of this mess so that we can at least get our heads above water. I also wanted to let you know, this is intentional. They're not making mistakes. They're doing it on purpose. They want us to depend on them. They want us to ask them for help. They want us to beg for our lives and for our livelihood. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to Dakota and I are going to dig our asses out of this situation. Okay? You guys too. Be aware. Stand the fuck up. Here we are. There's some motherfuckers out here grilling. They need to give us some food.